This is AmericanContractor.com, April 14th, 2014. The headline for today is Countries Moving Away from Dealings with the U.S. Dollar. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has stated that Iraq has added 36 tons of gold bullion to its reserves. This has a value of $1.5 billion. The Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, is purchasing large amounts of gold to back the Iraqi dinar currency. The CBI is doing what other countries around the world have done in the past. It is apparent that the countries are moving away from the U.S. dollar. There are numerous news articles from credible sources stating that the countries around the world are moving away from the U.S. dollars. I've shared some links and articles below on the website of AmericanContractor.com. In November 2010, the China Daily News Organization reported that Russia and China have signed an agreement to conduct all trade in their local currencies. It appears that they are kicking the U.S. dollar to the curb. The U.S. Federal Reserve has decreased the buying of debt from the U.S. government, and China has also decreased their purchasing at the U.S. Treasury Office. Russia and China are not the only two countries that have moved away from the U.S. dollar. Germany, a longtime ally of the United States, has also made arrangements with the Chinese government to conduct trade in yuan and euros. In February 2011, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, called for a U.S. dollar alternative. The United Nations has also called for a new global currency to replace the U.S. dollar. This is all pointing to a global currency reset that the IMF leader spoke of in the past. Clearly, they want to remove the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. Also, the petrodollar will no longer be the world's reserve currency. China and Brazil have signed agreements to only conduct trade in their local currencies, moving away from the U.S. dollars. China and Australia have signed agreements with each other. The article also mentions South Korea, Turkey, and Kazakhstan. They all have agreed to conduct trade in a currency swap in their own respective currencies. China and Japan have signed agreements to conduct trade in yuan and yen. There will be no U.S. dollars in their trade between the two countries. Iran and Russia have replaced the U.S. dollar between the two countries. This article also states that Iran replaced the U.S. dollar in its oil trade with India, China, and Japan. China and Chile have also signed agreements to conduct trade in their local currencies. China and the United Arab Emirates, UAE, have currency swaps in their local currency. They will be conducting trade in yuan and dirhams. The BRIC nations consist of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. They all have signed agreements with each other to conduct trade in their own local currency. This once again leaves the U.S. dollar out of their international transactions. Iraq is following suit. Don't get me wrong, they are currently still using the U.S. dollar, but changes are in the works. Iraq still accepts payment for the oil and gas in U.S. dollars. However, in the future, that may not be the case as they continue to back their currency with gold. It looks like they are strengthening the Iraqi dinar reserves with gold in order to move away from the U.S. dollar in the future. They recently signed agreements with India to conduct trade in both countries using local currencies. You will see Iraq conduct these type of arrangements in the future. Coming July 2014, there will be a new law on the books. I'm looking into the law and trying to do more research on this. However, some of what I'm learning is that after 1 July 2014, all worldwide banks have to comply and report to the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, any transactions made in U.S. dollars. Like I said, I'm still looking into this law. As soon as I get more information, I'll share and post it here on the AmericanContractor.com website. So if you have any questions, you want to post anything, go to the AmericanContractor.com website.